I love this one. This is Lady Liberty made of baseball theme, and it was inspired on Cubans, in my case because I'm Cuban, who came to America to find freedom through sport and fortune. So I did Lady Liberty, like welcoming them with what they were good at, and it's very personal to me that I love this. Also one thing that would be good to know, each painting, I started painting when the moon is waning, and then I finish in another waning a few months later. Like my dad's a farmer, and he does that to harvest his crops, and I do it like I plant an idea, and then I use the universal laws to complete it. So this one I started in February 2023, and I finished in August 2023 last month. Yeah, and so something that I do now that I learned in Bermeja, and in this town where I was born, that everybody does, is the fact that I use the phases of the moon to do my art. Like my dad, when he plants the seed, and I do that now when I plant an idea, I do the little moon in the painting, and I follow that process on my art as well. So there are things that you learn when you're a kid that you didn't know, but it stay with you and it make you being who you always been. This is the same thing as America. You can see he have it's like a U.S. flag and with a symbol of peace, about the unity and the love in the country. So it's a way of thinking that, because the thoughts are most stronger thing, the best thing we have to change through our thought. That's like the seeds of everything that happens is your thought. So I focus a lot of my work into that idea, how to make something from the very beginning, and then I just grow with that intention as a thought, thought of peace. Well, in my case, I think that having I would say now, heart was really good, because every difficulty, it makes you better, and you need those problems to improve it and to grow and to learn. So it's so necessary to have trouble in life, so you overcome them and you always get stronger. And my dad he was a farmer all his life. He didn't know much about art. And my mom, she used to sew, and she had a sewing machine, and she used to knead and do all these works with hands and sewing machine. But she passed away when I was 9 years old. So I was just with my dad, and he just told me like principle of like, don't do this, don't steal, just be a good person. Or he never told me, you should do this with your life, you should do that. He always let me. And when I say I'm going to art school, I get goosebumps, because when I told him I want to be an artist and I want to go to art school, he said, okay, just do it then. And supporting me on what I wanted to do and guiding me how to do it, but always supporting me and what I was born for, which is the reason we're here. For something that we need to be support honest in our individuality or uniqueness. Yeah, and he did without knowing it, and that's what I want to do with my kids too. Like, okay, I'll be watching you, but do it. This is called the Rider, and it's the same thing about meditation and concentration. And so this is this beautiful lady holding candles in the night and thinking to be a creator. The idea behind that, and you can see here, it's what I was telling you before, that I'm just doing a regular painting and I'm using the basket weaving in the background, like this one with the digital camouflage from desert camouflage, and this is jungle camouflage. This one right here. Yeah, I love the studio. We are evolving all the time. We are changing, we are growing, right? I would say that when something goes wrong, it's for good. You just keep your focus and your desire, and because you need those problems. Life is like that, and the same way, it's normal to have a problem. It's normal not to have money. Sometimes I don't have a penny for anything, but I just come back, and that's how it is. That's because people get afraid when something goes wrong. Oh, the worst can I know. It's just normal as being at the top. So that would be first, and then second, you can do art with anything. If those bad moments, it helps you actually to find all the solutions to make your art with all the materials, or being more experimental. But it's kind of like what everybody always says, just keep trying, because you have to keep trying, and if you really want it, nothing will stop you. So just make sure what are your priorities. If your priorities make art, think about art all the time, because you create with your thought. Think about art most of the time, and you just go. That's what I do. Everywhere I look, everywhere I go, I'm looking at objects, things that I can eventually bring an idea to me, and everything will evolve well that way. That's number one. Then I would say believe in your ideas like are the best in the world, because you are as important as anybody else, and you have a reason, and that idea came to you because of that, because you're worth it, because you're that important, and there is not a final amount of success that have been taken in the world. There is success for everybody, and there is a huge opportunity for everybody, and whatever everybody else achieve is taking nothing from you. You have an open world to create it and make it happen, and so that's also really important, because you know your value, and that's what I do. I know that my success has nothing to do with anybody's success. It's all up to me. So that's my advice. I'm doing a lot of sculptures now. This one just arrived at the studio. I think the idea, and I get the foundry to make it for me. And I get another 3D artist to create my idea into a reality, and then we can print it 3D, and we can go to the foundry with that, and they can make the bronze, which is really awesome. That in these times it's so much easier for an artist to do so many expressions of work in sculptures, in embroidery, in paintings, and whatever you want to do. Technology have allowed you to be so much productive and don't let ideas to die. Like those paintings, I couldn't do it with the basket weaving because it would be impossible, and I want them to exist. So that's why I do it. In this case, the same. I can make myself now to start learning a whole new brand of art, like a sculpture. So this is very interesting. And the idea came to me about something that I heard, that like your heart is your second brain. And I thought, wow, that would be awesome if we could think with our heart, since the heart it's the one to follow, is the one that you feel, and following your feelings in what you want to do in life or whatever, more than the shot of the mind constantly. So I wanted to do like a heart, a human heart, but instead of having this part as a heart, it's like a brain, and it's called intuition. So it's like listening to that sort of voice of your heart, which is the one that is the guidance. And so I love this, and I have a lot of other sculptures made, but I can't show right now. I don't have it in here. This is bronze patina, this is stainless steel, and this is polished bronze. My desire was always the thinker of ideas. So it was a moment that I went to an art studio and I saw another artist and I said, well, I can do this too. And it was in Tula Art Center in Bennett Street. And I with all the artists, we got a studio, 3 artists, we got one studio. And once I bought my easel and my first canvas, I was like, this is it. So I focus on it, I paint, and eventually I sent submissions to art galleries, and I got representation in Atlanta, many galleries in Atlanta, and it was really good. I think that the best is yet to come, right? Because I always feel like, I feel right now that this is a moment where things are going to change. I feel that because I'm going into so many other shows and opportunities that I never had before. And I've been able to be in very important collections and some museum collections, and I have worked in many airports through the country, which is really good. I get travelers sending me pictures all the time. Hey, look what I saw here, look what, and that's really, it feels really good. Super important. I have a solid representation from a gallery, Contessa Gallery, right now, and I have the opportunity to have a solo show. This would be the 3rd year in Art Miami, a solo booth, which is really important because there's like over 200 of world's best art galleries there and all the collectors, and it's been really good to introduce my work to international collectors as well. So that's where I believe it's going to be better and better, but those are kind of my achievements right now, which I'm really proud of. Looking back of all what I have learned, and the point that I'm right now is in the fusion of economics and spirituality. And so that's what I'm focusing my art on the fact that when I do really good is the point that I am to really help others. And when the system around me is in harmony and it's really good, that's when I can really project more harmony and help more others and give more love or whatever. So I didn't know before, but now I know that I had to make the best of myself so I can really give to others. That's in few words. So with my art, most of the later works, it's from that starting point of the thought. So I feel better when I think good, and I create when I think good and when I think positive. And so all these new paintings are about that, about what I want of the world, or what I wish the world would be. All start with me and start with thoughts. So it's all this series of I call them the mind series, because it's about creating and being positive and wanting something better, but also being responsible for myself and myself giving something better through my thoughts and my art. And that to me is the most important thing. It's first yourself, and don't care about the others, because you're really helping the others being the best of yourself, and through what you think and what you speak and what you do every day. And I wish that I will compress that in my art. Maybe in 10 years from now we'll be thinking something else, but so far till today I believe that I'm proud of that, because I'm happy to feel that way.